This episode is brought to you by Ariston Specialties in Bloomfield, Connecticut, makers of amazing olive oils and other Greek delights. Check them out online at aristonspecialties.com. That's Ariston, Ariston, specialties.com. Cruising through the New York Times last night, I flipped out over an old school casserole recipe that we're going to tell you about. It's a hot chicken salad topped with crunchy potato chips. Oh boy, that sounds like... So, you're not going to believe how easy this is to make. You can even buy a rotisserie chicken. You don't even have to cook the chicken. I mean, it's just crazy.
I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and it's on our site. Welcome to our new podcast at faithmiddleton.com. Yes, the Food Schmooze Party is back every week with our all-star cast. Chris Prosperi, chef and co-owner of Metro Beast Restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut. Mark Raymond in Old Wethersfield. He has a wine to share. This is the one I've been touting. And it's for the hot chicken salad, but I would have it with anything. Our editor, Carl Franklin in Quaker Hill. Plus, Joanne Church in New London. My dog Bon Bon, our mascot, is right here. Okay. Did you folks see that story in the Times about how they found a whole bunch of crab shells, like the whole giant shell of, red crabs in a cave in Portugal? And it turns out, and they sent them to all the experts, and the expert says, oh, these were from Neanderthal times.
No, sir.
And the Neanderthals, who were said to be kind of stupid, they loved crabs. This is thousands
and they made an aioli. So
I read that.
First ones to clarify butter.
Neanderthal aioli.
I know.
That's so funny. Sorry.
Okay, so so let's blab for a little minute about. Are you in love with old school casseroles as much as I am?
Love them.
Oh my God. Winter food heaven.
Yeah, aren't they? And they're easy.
My favorite is from Al Forno in Providence in Federal Hill, the casserole. First casserole I ever had. And it was like the best.
That's king of casserole,
I'm spoiled.
right?
Yeah.
The king of casseroles,
right
that's
there.
the king of casseroles.
Carl, Al Forno in Providence is one of my favorite restaurants in the world, not even just
it is.
in Rhode Island.
It's amazing.
It's amazing pizza. Never had a pizza like that in my life.
Right.
Yeah, so good.
Everything they do, all the desserts and everything. Okay, but let us come back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
the casserole. So I know everybody's probably... so this one I spotted was in the New York Times, and I have to say, it just sounds so good. And, we're not the kind of show that doesn't want to tout other people because, they're competing with us. If somebody does something great, we're going to tell you about it after we do some research.
Oh, yeah.
So we're saying hats off to the New York Times for this thing. It was in, within the past 48 hours, and it was in the sort of food section area. And you can see the full recipe. And are we going to have it on our site, Carl?
Yeah, we'll definitely link to it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Very good. So, that's, faithmiddleton.com. Okay. Who's up, Chris? What do you got for a casserole?
Oh my gosh. All right.
How about this Times casserole?
Hot chicken salad. And again, I read the article late last night and, in bed, reading in bed on my tablet. And all of a sudden I got so hungry. And I'm like, how am I getting hungry? This is just a couple ingredients you throw in a bowl and then throw in a little casserole dish and bake in the oven. But the combination, heaven. So leftover chicken in 1-inch cubes, and it could be anything. It could be a rotisserie chicken. It could be a roast chicken you had for dinner the night before. So
Now we're not talking the casserole made with Nashville hot chicken, like spicy. We're talking hot temperature.
That's a
hot
great
temperature.
It's a great point, Carl.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not spicy. It's just temperature-wise,
Yeah, and I love the fact that she puts a ton of celery in it, too. It has 5 large celery stalks, and then you mix it with mayonnaise, shredded sharp cheddar cheese. This is a cool ingredient, too, slivered almonds, so it gives it a little, crunchiness
Texture.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a little bit of lemon juice, some onion salt and pepper, And then you mix all that together. You put it in your casserole, a little 11 by 13 casserole pan. And then the best part of this by far, a couple cups of just smashed up classic or ruffled potato chips. Right?
Yeah.
And you just put that on top in a 350 degree preheated oven for 30 minutes until it gets bubbly and the potato chips brown. And like I said, lying in bed last night, I was tempted. I was like, I might not have chicken, but I bet you I have something in there I can mix and throw in
I know.
with potato chips on top.
That's what happened to me when I stumbled on the recipe. I just thought, what?
Yeah.
Yes. But, this goes back to, I don't know, you all read this article too. And, did they say it goes back to the 1800s, but that really got big again in the 1960s? These
that sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were making casseroles in the 1800s. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Cast iron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's so easy. You had your wood ovens back then or coal ovens, right? And that's how you cooked, right? It's an easy way to feed the big family, right? Because we all lived with our extended families back then, right? In the 1800s. So you had lots of people to feed, and this is just a good way to feed a ton of people.
Yep, the cowpokes out on the range with the skillet over the wood fire.
Hey, Faith, did you ever go to Randall's Ordinary?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Years
you
and
guys
years
have
ago.
too? So this is it was a famous place in North Stonington, and they did everything. There was no menu. You just got what they were cooking, and they cooked over an open flame and a hearth, and they hung cast iron pots in the fire, and you got what you got.
And they would take you for a ride in that wagen.
Yeah.
Did they do that? Was a hay wagon, I think, right?
Nice.
Hay ride, yeah.
So cool.
What a great place.
Yeah. Then the casino got it, I think. I think the casino.
Yeah,
True.
well.
Yeah. So, Faith, I was thinking, just kind of twisting it up. You could change this casserole recipe so easy just by the flavors of the potato chip toppings you want to use.
Right? Barbecue.
Oh,
So
Barbecue.
or sour cream and onion.
Sour cream and
God.
onion. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's dill pickle flavor now.
Oh my God, there's so
many
many.
different flavors.
Life's too short for plain potato chips.
Yeah.
And you also can throw anything you want into this casserole. That's the thing about a casserole.
So I have a friend who makes meatballs and meatloaf with crushed up barbecue potato chips
Inside
as sort
the
of a
meatloaf?
filler inside.
Awesome idea.
Isn't that a good idea?
Do the potato chips get soft or do they stay crispy?
Yeah, they get soft.
Yeah. Like
So
almost
it adds-
using breadcrumb.
Yeah.
Right, like a breadcrumb, but it's barbecue flavor.
Yeah. How
It's
cool
like
is that?
internal French fries.
Just in time for the Valentine heart-shaped meatloaf. I'm going to try it.
All right.
There you go.
Potato chips instead of breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so I have a take on this that I'm definitely going to make. It inspired me, right? So, I'm not a super fan of mayonnaise, so I'm going to take my chicken, same as they did, and I'm going to mix it with celery like they did. And then instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to do cream cheese, right? So follow me on this. So softened cream cheese, leave the cream cheese out,
Hold on, I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
Cream
And
cheese.
then add in a little bit of crumbled blue cheese to give it a little zing.
Wow.
I'm going to do onion powder, and then I'm going to douse it with Frank's hot sauce. And then I'm going to take that mixture, put it in my casserole, and then I'm topping it with barbecue potato chips.
Wow, that's
Right? So it's kind of buffalo-like, but not. But right? Talk
You should
about
definitely
a casserole.
have me over. You should
Well, buffalo chicken casserole.
Right?
Oh,
Oh
man.
my God, that's such a great idea.
So
Yeah.
off to the supermarket, get a rotisserie chicken and chop that puppy up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Restaurant
Sure.
chefs who might be listening right now, I bet they're going to do that, Chris.
Oh yeah,
You're going to do.
so
You're going
good.
to take that recipe right.
Oh,
Super
Super Bowl
buffalo
Sunday.
chicken casserole.
Great idea.
Oh my God.
Great idea. Oh, yeah.
Well, you
One pot
probably
wonder.
could do one with a spaghetti sauce and, either shrimp or.
Oh, sure.
You could just do any sauce and any combination of protein. And if you wanted to throw some vegetables in, you could do that too.
sure.
Yeah.
Mushrooms could go in
Artichoke
there.
hearts.
Yeah. Oh, artichoke hearts, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And some olives. We'd go all Mediterranean.
Chris, you're almost on your way to a spinach artichoke dip with chicken. You might as well
Yeah, right?
complete the circuit.
Possibilities are endless.
And Carl, the steak man, You could do a steak casserole.
Oh, yeah. Or
casserole.
rib.
Or a rib.
Oh, short rib,
Brisket.
yeah.
Yes.
A braised brisket, leftover brisket chopped up.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking.
There you go. Yeah,
now
because
you're
brisket
talking.
can take the extra cooking.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
Or pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
With the barbecue chips on top.
Oh, my God.
So, wait a minute. What are we
is torture.
saying? What we're saying is you can throw a whole bunch of stuff into a bowl or a
Right.
pan and shove
And
it in
roast
the
it
oven.
in the oven.
Yep.
We're
And
celebrating the
top it-
casserole.
But most importantly, top it with potato chips. Because I
Yes.
think, I
Yes,
think
of
casseroles
course.
have been done. We have millions of recipes, but the unique
Sure.
one about this New York Times recipe is definitely those potato chips just crumbling
Right.
on top. And like we've all been saying, you could use
Get that
any kind
texture.
of flavor or even just mix them, right? I love
yeah.
barbecue and salt and vinegar potato chips mixed
love
together.
salt and
me
vinegar.
too.
Oh, yeah. I'm all in.
It's
So
like
now
a
you
potato
wouldn't
chip salad.
necessarily. Now the recipe says to put the potato chips on before you put it in the oven. I would tend to want to put them on after, right before you
After it
serve.
comes out. Yeah, me
Would
too.
you?
You don't
'Cause
want
they would-
them cooked to
I don't
the-
want them
I don't-
steaming and getting
Oh, I
soggy.
love that.
No, I don't
you
want
don't
soft
love
either.
potato
I want-
chips that are in the bottom of the bag that you find every once in a while, the ones that got over fried. I
No.
aim for those sometimes.
Yeah, it would be good if they stayed crispy, but I got a feeling with all that moisture that they're just going to steam a little bit.
You
Yeah.
know what? Now
Ooh,
I'm
we're
going to
gonna
have
try.
to give my
Maybe do a
potato.
I
little,
will let
little
you
in,
know
a little
tonight.
out.
Yeah, we
You
need
know-
a science experiment here.
Yeah,
The
that's
minute,
it.
It's
remember
called for
Groucho
experimentation.
Marx show? This is, goes back about 3,000 years. He had this thing, and the sign would come down on a string.
Yeah, you bet your
Whenever
life.
he said the magic word.
The magic word.
And then the guest had to guess what the word
with a
was.
duck.
And for me, it is, for me, it is, the second you talk about potato chips, I have to give you my tip of my life from Diane Chauvin, who lives in Simsbury, Connecticut. And she and her husband were my best friends in high school. And she was a home ec teacher. The name became something else. They didn't like home ec as it sounded old school. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but she would teach them all these cooking things and sewing and all this stuff. And she said to me, "Oh, do you put your potato chips in the freezer?" And
That's Chris's
I looked
bag.
and I'm thinking to
No,
myself,
I got it from Faith, who got it
Oh,
from...
you did?
Yeah,
from
oh,
D.
totally.
Oh,
So I'm
we're
trying,
hearing
I'm trying
the
to keep
origin
my,
of this.
I'm trying to keep my
Yes.
face straight, like, oh boy, that sounds awful. And I did it at her house, and I have never had a potato chip
Yeah.
up in my own house that hasn't gone in the freezer.
Yep.
Really?
Because it doesn't get frozen.
No, not at all.
It gets cold
Oh, heaven.
and crispy beyond
Yeah.
all imagining. And it is so delicious. So put your potato chips in. You can even open the bag and do it.
So, the thing I know about cold food is that when something is cold, it needs more flavor in order to come through. And potato chips are flavor bombs anyway, right? So it might actually mute the flavor a little bit, but it might just be like the perfect amount.
No,
This is kind of what I'm
yes,
thinking.
Yes
It's
and
the
no.
fat, right?
Yeah, but what happens, Carl, is that it goes in ice cold. So
Yeah.
it is kind of flat because I eat these. There's a bag of barbecue potato chip in my freezer right now. You
Right.
put
I'm
it in
gonna
your
try
mouth,
this.
and
I am
it's
gonna
ice
try this.
cold, right?
Daniel,
and
Daniel.
you're right.
Oh.
The flavors are muted,
But then when it
inside
warms up in your mouth,
it warms up. And
of
I tell
course.
everyone it's life changing. And just like Faith, they give you that look, right? Faith, I'm sure you've told people, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Of course.
Oh, they say, oh, here she goes with that potato
Yeah.
chip thing again.
but it's life
demented,
changing.
Yeah. Wow.
It is life changing. Thank you, T. Chauvin. Okay, so Mark,
All right. How about a Mexican casserole?
Oh,
Instead
yeah.
of using chips, you're using corn chips.
Oh,
And in the mix, you're using a little bit of avocado. You're using a little
Olives.
bit of chilies,
I love it.
maybe a little
Wow.
tomato, a little red and yellow pepper.
wow.
Sour cream, maybe.
oh yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, I
And
think
is
that's
there still
gotta be in
chicken,
there.
Mark?
Oh, yeah, definitely with
Nice.
chicken. Definitely
Yeah.
with chicken.
We can swirl in some chimichurri.
Here's what we should do. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And then I'm going to tell you about this wine that Mark has turned me on to that he thinks, well, it's a white wine and it'd be good with anything, but it's also good with this hot chicken salad. Okay, we'll be right back. We'll see you soon. I'm Faith Middleton, and we are at our new address, the Pooch Moo's new address, which is faithmiddleton.com. I'm with the all-star gang, the people you know. So that would be Chris Prosperi, Carl Franklin, who's also our editor and does a splendid job of it, and Joanne Church, and Mark Raymond is here. And Mark, you got to tell us about this wine, because I'm going to pour just a tad more of this into my glass.
Well, look at you go there.
Just a tad.
So the wine that you're pouring right now is Chateau Saint Roch Old Vine White. Ooh. And it is an affordable wine from France, white wine from France. It's a blend of Grenache Blanc and Roussanne, 80-20. And it is a mouthful of just delicious ripe pear, a little bit of lime. It's got this wonderful line of crispness and brightness to it. I think it would be perfect for that chicken casserole. Pretty much go with anything every day. And the great thing about it is it's super affordable. It's $15 a bottle.
I like that.
That's a price point I think most people can touch nowadays.
How is it on the dry level? Is it dry or is it
very dry?
It's very dry. Yeah.
It has a hint of it's like a clear stream. That's a brook.
Oh, I love that.
Water's traveling down.
Faith, you have a way with words.
There's this little way. So it has almost like a whisper of Sauvignon Blanc in it. Does that make sense?
It's got that line of crispness for sure. Sure.
So it's spelled, it's Chateau Saint, in other words. We say Saint, but if we're doing it the right way. But it's Saint, R-O-C-H. And the year on this mark is...
That is 2020.
I should have... see that? Wow, okay. And
Perfect vision.
Here's the thing. A lot of times wine gets so influenced by what they keep it in after they pick the grapes, and sometimes they age them, sometimes they don't. And they keep it in oak barrels, and then it said they also first keep it in cement. Yeah. And I thought, I've never heard that before. You have probably, Mark, right?
Oh,
I'd like to eat that cement.
Is very widely used. It's neutral, which is great. Yeah.
Never knew.
Cement
and
is
it's probably
so
cheaper than oak barrels, right?
But it's porous, isn't it? I thought cement was porous.
It is.
I guess wood is too, if you think about it.
It is, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not leaking through.
It's not leaking through. No.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like enough wood, where it holds.
Yeah.
So if you go into your wine store, I always say this, call ahead before you go in, because these wine stores are small. Usually they can't keep everything, but they do follow what we do. So you save yourself a trip. Call them up and say, do you have this wine? And you can go to our website, faithmiddleton.com, and see it written down. And we tell you even what to say to the wine store person, so that the distributor that provides the wines for the store can send somebody over, and you'll have it within 24 or 48 hours. And as Mark said, it's around,
spot on.
Would you say 22?
15.
Mark?
$15.
$15.
Yeah.
It's such a good value.
If you want, we'll charge you 22, but it's only 15.
It's amazing what you can get.
So you say to them, is it Brescombe Barton is the distributor?
Yes, Brescombe Barton's the distributor, and they can get it, like you said, within 48 hours at the most.
Yep.
Very cool.
So, and that way you're not making, but if you see it on the shelf when you're in there, we definitely say try this one. I certainly do. And, obviously Mark does, because he's the one who told
Mark,
me.
You like hot peppers, right? In your casserole?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of peppers do you put in there in your chicken casserole?
Man, I think, for this one, I don't know, Chris, maybe like a little hot chili pepper, like the small Spanish ones.
Yeah.
Actually,
Chipotle,
I would love
to give it a smoky.
A poblano, that little smokiness
not so
to
spicy,
that's the one, Mark.
Not super spicy.
That's the one I would pick, I think, because I love those. If you've never tried them, I can't do heat anymore. When I was really young, I could do any kind of heat. And so the poblanos, when it was explained to me that they're, that burn your mouth part is pretty mild. And it's, as Mark says, it's much more smoky. Yeah. So that would be really wonderful in a casserole.
And of course, Carl, now they have the habanero potato chips. So you could get your kid from potato chips.
Oh, I got to try them. Are they really hot?
Smoking hot?
Super hot.
Super hot. Yeah, that might be a little too hot.
I like that. I like that Asian sort of chili garlic paste, sambal olek that you can get.
Love.
I do too.
It's a wonderful combination. You can just like throw it in anything and makes it better.
Yeah. Don't they usually it's on the table in Thai restaurants, right, Joanne? Yeah. You know, I'm a fan of the old school A1 sauce. Does anybody remember that or still use it?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan too, Faith. I'm with you on that.
That's very good in your meatloaf. I don't know why I got on that, but
because you're making one for Valentine's Day.
I keep a bottle in my walk-in here.
Do you?
Every once in a while, people ask for it, but I love it. Like, if we're tasting steak, I go get it. I'll be right back.
There you go.
It's
a little A1.
It's phenomenal on baked potatoes or French fries.
Oh, French fries. Agreed.
I know.
Yeah,
I shouldn't even
French
say
fries.
that to you, Chris Presper.
Yeah,
I actually, I will
addiction.
share this next time we talk about steak or whatever. I'm going to tell you a recipe that I made with ingredients off the shelf that you can make a sugar-free steak sauce that rivals A1.
Really?
I'm up for the challenge.
Let's do that next time.
Yeah, we can maybe do steaks next time. Or maybe when it gets a little warmer out because so people can grill.
Yes, but we can just do your skillet on the stovetop. You know,
I tell you what, I'm doing the cast iron skillet all the time now. I even got my wife doing it.
Yep.
She's like, this is so easy.
On the grill, Mark?
No. Cast iron skillet in the kitchen.
Yep,
in the kitchen.
And then finishing it off in the oven.
In the oven. Yep.
You got to have a hood.
Mark, your wife, Mary, she knows beef, right?
Argentinian.
She knows beef. And she knows a good steak, right?
Yeah.
She's Argentinian, right?
Yeah. We're always on the hunt around the Hartford area for a good cut of beef. You know?
We still have to go to Texas State Brazil, Mark. It's right in your backyard.
I know.
You too, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
It's in the West Farms Mall.
And why can't Joanne and I?
I'm going.
Why can't we go?
Let's carpool. I'll pick you guys up. Let's go.
I'll tell you what. That's a great time.
That's a great time.
Wouldn't it?
Yep. Come bring it over to the table and start slicing for you.
Yeah, meat on a stick served by men in pants.
And they don't stop until you say, "Uncle, please."
Yeah. Right. Oh, is that right? Is that true?
Can't have any more.
It's true.
Huh.
Yeah, it's all you can eat.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Good old-fashioned Brazilian rodizio.
Hey.
Yeah. Wow. You know, a chef in Fairfield County once did that to me with truffles. Truffles had just come in and I had just gotten onto truffles and I didn't understand that what the chefs do is come over as like a nice gesture to you and they do the scraping of the truffle and so that it's all on top of the meat that you're having. And so I just thought...
This is right after I won the lottery.
It's up to him, you know. I mean, like, sure, go ahead. I'm just sitting there, you know, casually till he's done. And the person I was with said, excuse me, but do you think that must have been $500?
Must be a little excessive.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say when.
I learned a big
cha-ching, cha-ching,
cha-ching,
cha-ching.
Oh, boy.
This was great, though.
I bet it was delicious.
It was unbelievable.
I bet.
This chef is really unbelievable. Joanne, go ahead.
So I love chicken salad as a sandwich, and I love chicken salad on greens, but I never thought of cooking it. And just a cup of mayonnaise, like maybe. And this is not a casserole, but when I read this recipe in the New York Times, the first thing that I thought of was my mother's chicken a la king on toast.
Oh,
that was one of her. Did you grow up with that?
Totally.
Yes.
Dish of the 70s.
Yeah.
It was just mushrooms, milk, butter, chicken. And then she threw in pimentos, I think because it was just such a white plate of food. And that was the only thing.
Yeah, give it some color.
Did she have joy of cooking in her kitchen?
Oh, yes.
My mother
that's
did
where all these casseroles started really in a big way in the 60s.
The big green book.
Okay, Carl, now what about you?
All right. So, as you know, I can't do potato chips because I'm low carb. Yeah. But I have a friend, Carrie Brown. She lives in Connecticut, and she is a pastry chef that turned keto. Ooh. And she's got a lot of great recipes. So I'm going to link to her recipe for creamed chicken and cabbage casserole. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
so this is a version that I would do, and I actually like the idea of something crunchy on top, so I would do chicharrones. Right?
So for people who don't know what chicharrones is or are, it's pork rinds, right?
Fried pork rinds, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, they come in every flavor now, too.
They certainly do.
Oh,
including
So
barbecue.
if you want them barbecue, you want them habanero, you want them dill pickle, they got them all.
Nice.
You got it. All right, so she sautés cabbage and leeks and rosemary in olive oil
Very
and
nice.
adds her cooked chicken, rotisserie chicken's fine, cut into small pieces, heavy cream cheese, and cheddar cheese. And that essentially goes into the oven.
That sounds so
God.
good. I
And
know.
think about that flavor combination. That's some
Cream
yum right
cheese,
there.
cheddar
Oh,
cheese.
that's really
I mean, you know what? I'm not such a cabbage fan, but I could totally see doing.
Oh, yeah.
where
Me
you
too.
can get them everywhere nowadays. Is shaved
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
Yep.
sure.
Switch
Yeah.
switch up in there.
Sandwiches, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good
Oh, yeah.
idea.
Right. But the idea is you want them translucent, and they almost take the place of pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like cabbage in my casseroles and in my stews.
Yeah,
Even
I do
if it's
too.
just for fill, and it's good. It's healthy.
It
It's
is
a good
very
filler.
healthy.
Or so they say.
Or sauerkraut too.
Well,
Mhm.
love. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the second casserole. Casserole is king, but choucroute garni. That's my second. That's the sauerkraut casserole with sausages.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember that I said
Oh.
this? One of my best things was that Chris would, come down every few weeks and he would bring me his homemade sauerkraut, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it's the
Oh.
most incredible thing
Yeah.
ever.
All right, I'll trade wine for that, Chris.
We haven't made it in a couple years. This fall coming, we're going to make it again.
All right.
We stopped because of the pandemic and stuff, but yes, that's on
Sure.
our list of things to get going again. We used to make, I don't even know, 50, 60 gallons a year, and it would last us all winter.
Right.
I would come back
So
with your
good.
sauerkraut and do this choucroute garni with
Oh,
the sausage
so good,
right?
and
I'm all
That's
in.
a casserole.
the
for
white wine,
kings
the
right
German
there.
white wine. Oh my
Oh
god!
my God.
I love it.
So it's
love it.
casserole weekend.
You just like get in your underwear and spread it all over the living room floor. You just nom 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 nom.
Oh,
What if we all went to the same nursing home together? Don't
Oh,
you think we
totally.
could do
Yep.
some serious cooking, have a ball? It'd be just
totally.
parties, wall-to-wall parties.
Yep.
We'll just move
That's where
into
I'm
Chris's restaurant.
Yep. We're all moving in here.
That's a really
Shut
good
it down
idea.
and turn it into a private residence.
That's it.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, I am there.
We have a kitchen, big dining rooms. We're in.
It's all set. It's all set.
We'll just sleep on the
Bathrooms.
tables.
Plenty of wine. No
Plenty of
problem.
wine. Yep.
Yeah.
We're good to go. We'll last definitely a couple years.
I have a
in here
wine
with the food and
IV.
wine.
Yeah.
There's a bar. Let's see. There's
Yeah.
yep.
Cocktail hour every evening.
Uh-huh.
Everything you need.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Bedpans.
We have apartments upstairs, so we're good to go.
I know.
It's a
How
deal.
many do you have?
We have 5 apartments and 1 hotel room. So
Let's see,
yeah,
1, 2,
we're
three,
solid.
We're covered.
four,
We never have to leave the
five.
building. We don't
No,
have to
we're
leave the
covered.
building.
No, there's 6 of us. There's 6 of us.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to have
five
to
in a hotel room.
double
Someone gets
up.
the hotel suite. I'll take that one.
Oh, really?
It doesn't
okay.
have a
Well, you
kitchen,
deserve
so I'll
to
use the
have
main
that.
kitchen.
Okay.
And there's room for bonbon.
Wait,
Yep,
Bob
right.
gets his own room?
Oh, totally.
No, he cannot be separated from me.
Right.
Oh,
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been so much fun to me. Honestly, I love
good
love
times.
doing this show, but particularly this one. For some reason, it really hit me. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back next week, as always, thanks to the editing of Carl Franklin, or Karl Marx, as I call him.
Okay.
And then
I'll take Carl Jung.
I know, me too. And then we'll be back again and with some new topic. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye
ciao.
bye.